up on CTV News tonight, we look inside the red zone at the latest of damage and what's being done to clean up. Welcome to CTV News, I'm Rob Cope-Williams. We take you back inside the red zone and find out how preparations are going for the city restart in October.
A lot has changed since we last went into the red zone. The June 13th aftershocks have caused further damage and work is underway in Cashel Street for the city restart in October. For some of the prominent buildings in the city, their fates are mixed. Brannigan's is still undecided. There will be meetings with the owners next week. The Cawthorne is under review. The Forsyth Bar building is being saved, but the Clarendon is coming down. Meetings are taking place with the owners to decide when work will commence. As for heritage buildings, Cashel Street, Colombo Street and Litchfield Street all have at least two that are being fully demolished. This old council chamber building collapsed completely on June the 13th. It was only partly damaged in February. This reiterates the fact that a building may look okay, but they may still not be safe. There are concerns with the speed of demolition, but Minister Jerry Brownlee says he's satisfied with the speed.
I think it's going at a pace that we can be satisfied with. We've got a lot of contractors working in here. It's a relatively confined space, so traffic movement is important. You've got to work around some very dangerous buildings, and then of course once you've got them down, you've got to take that rubble out to the landfill or to the reclaim site in Littleton, and so for the wider city there are traffic movement issues as well. So I think the capacity that we've got in here at the moment is about right, but Warwick and the team are always looking to see if they could supplement that, boost it up a bit.
He says the June 13th aftershocks did help with the demolition process by determining what buildings needed to come down and helping owners decide to bring them down quicker.
Look, everyone would like things to go more quickly, but given that you're working with unsafe buildings and you don't want further loss of life, I think we're doing about the right pace.
And while Canterburyans are dealing with a new normal, Minister Brownlee says things will slowly get back to a more functioning normality.
I think two things will be are starting to emerge. Firstly, June 13 very starkly made clear which buildings are no longer suitable for refurbishment, and anybody coming back into the city in the future can be confident that buildings that remain are very safe. So I would think probably early part of next year we could see some reoccupation. We want the retail restart by show week. That's a tall order, but the cooperation among all the parties there is extraordinary, very focused, and I hope we're going to get there. I really can't put a time on it. I think you're going to see parts of the central business district open up probably in the early part of next year, but with these very large buildings, longer term demolition, it's going to be probably to the latter part of next year before we see any significant reoccupation.
And as for work on the Grand Chancellor?
The Grand Chancellor is still on progress. They've lost about a fortnight or so with the reassessment that was needed after June the 13th. But it's a very, very difficult deconstruction. It's the biggest building ever to be deconstructed in New Zealand. And of course it's got to be done in a way that doesn't damage buildings around it.
As you can see behind me here, demolition is ongoing in the city to get this part of the city reopened in time for Cup and Show Week. A lot of demolition has been going on in this part of the city, particularly since the June 13th aftershocks.
The plan is that we get this area cleared out, put some temporary facilities in here which we're looking to fund at the present time, so that we can get retailing opportunities established by Show Week. It's a very tall order, but the cooperation from all parties, including the property owners and the retailers, is pretty big. So we're looking forward to a restart of retail opportunity towards the end of this year. We'd hope that there'll be some hospitality facilities attached to that as well.
Coming up after the break, Canterbury University's Open Day held and how they think they're going to be able to bring people back. Canterbury University's Open Day was today to attract students from around the country and the world back to Christchurch.
Canterbury University was buzzing with hundreds of eager and prospective students today, with the university running its annual Open Day. Students both nationally and internationally attended the Open Day, enjoying the information and activities on offer. With the 2011 academic year disrupted by the earthquakes, Vice-Chancellor Dr. Rod Carr says the university is up and running.
The first thing we have to do is make sure that everybody understands that the University of Canterbury is open for business, that our buildings are safe, our staff are ready to research and teach, our lecture theatres are open, the laboratories are accessible, the libraries are coming back online, and we are welcoming all of those students who want to join us for 2012.
The Open Day comes after trying times, and the university is taking special measures to attract students to Canterbury.
There's naturally some anxiety among parents about the university and the choices that their children have open to them. And so I'm fronting a number of these forums in which we can explain what the university's done to make this a safe environment, reassure parents that the quality of education that they'll get at the University of Canterbury is among the best in the world. I think a lot of our staff have made a special effort to make themselves available, to explain to students the courses and the programs. We've got a bit of festivity going on campus to reassure everybody that there is a social life as part of the university experience. And that's important. There's more to university than just books and lectures.
Although still offering the same services and activities as seen in previous Open Days, today's opening is different for all those involved and attending. Prospective students appear undeterred by any disruptions caused by the earthquake, and 2012 will see an influx of fresh new faces at Canterbury.
I'd say definitely don't let the earthquake put you off. Oh, it's really fantastic. The teacher here is very good, and yeah, the environment is very good as well. It's just got a really good name for engineering, eh? Yeah, we've heard about it up north, and it seems to be the best one in the country, so I think you'll see me here next year.
Well, they seem to offer more courses in their first year, and they are the ones that interest me and stuff. So,
the courses here, yeah, I really want to take them here. It's probably the best university for it.
$6 million in lottery funding has been allocated to the Christchurch earthquake appeal. In total, $154 million in lottery allocations will be pumped back into the community this year from the proceeds of games like Lotto and St Kiwi and Daily Keno. Minister of Internal Affairs Nathan Guy says that the core purpose of these lotteries is to raise money for the community, so it's only fitting that this allocation goes towards rebuilding Christchurch. He says the people of Christchurch have been through a very tough time, but the focus is now shifting to rebuilding the city. A huge variety of organisations receive funding, such as Aged Concern, St John's, Bernardo's, Plunkett, Women's Refuge and Cancer Societies. University of Canterbury student Erin Goff suffers from cerebral palsy, but nothing holds her back from living a fulfilling life.
Erin Goff was born with cerebral palsy. However, the outgoing 19-year-old Canterbury University student has not let her medical condition hold her back from leading an active and truly inspiring lifestyle. Last weekend saw Erin attend Leadership New Zealand's annual dinner in conjunction with the Be Leadership program.
Basically, I'm a part of a course called Be Leadership, and it's part of a wider initiative called Be Accessible, and it's all about inspiring and enabling a 100% accessible society. So basically that's for people with disabilities, but basically everyone benefits from it. So mothers with strollers, elderly people, it's all about making society more accessible to all. So not only physically accessible like ramps and braille and stuff like that, but also socially, so changing societal attitudes, and personally, so making sure people with disabilities feel good about themselves.
With an obvious passion for leadership and the welfare of people, Erin is the only Canterbury representative which sees her participate in a range of initiatives and activities through the Be Leadership program.
So basically I'm quite involved in community groups. I'm involved in a group that helps transition young people from school to further tertiary work, and also with the Christchurch earthquake and the rebuild I'm getting quite involved with youth representation on the City Council and making sure the voice of people with disabilities are heard.
With widespread success achieved across New Zealand through the Be Leadership program, Erin attended the Celebratory Leadership New Zealand's annual dinner in Auckland.
It's just an annual thing to celebrate leadership in New Zealand, because last week was Leadership Week, so it's a national week to celebrate leadership and New Zealand leaders. So this was just a dinner to celebrate the leaders in New Zealand, and it was the first time that Be Accessible has been invited to that, so it was quite a great honour, yeah.
Whilst in Auckland, Erin found herself standing at the top of the Sky Tower, preparing to take the biggest jump of her life.
I was catching up with a couple of friends from there, and one of the guys, he uses a wheelchair as well, and he was talking about it. I said no, I hadn't really planned on doing that, and he said, well, I've done it, so you better do it. And at first I was like, no way, but he kind of coerced me into it, and ended up doing it. Yeah, it felt pretty amazing, kind of like, I don't know, like I was flying or something, but it was definitely scary looking down 200 metres in the air and seeing all the buildings and stuff below. I was kind of thinking, what am I doing? But I guess once you're up there, the only way to get down is to jump. So
with a genuine enthusiasm for life, Erin is one young Canterburyan woman and leader we can no doubt expect to see more of in the future.
Well, I guess I'd hope to become a lawyer, career-wise, but I also hope to further my leadership skills and further my status as a young leader in my community. So obviously the advantage of being young is that I have a lot of time ahead of me. So yeah, we'll see where it goes, and I have a lot of aspirations, but yeah, just keep going and see where life takes me, I guess.
Coming up after the break, your local weather. Welcome back. Pete Smith hit the streets today in Street Talk to ask how people are feeling about the Crusaders Super Rugby final this weekend.
I've always believed if you want to get the real oil on a big match of rugby, you go to a pub, you go to a bar, because that's where the know-alls are, and they know the sport inside out. They follow it day after day, so they'll help me today as we try and work out how good will the Crusaders be tomorrow night against the Reds over in Queensland. Let's go and talk to the punters about it.
Crusaders all the way. By what? Okay, I think by about 12.
About 12. Right. Who's your favourite Crusader?
Richie.
Hey.
Absolutely.
Crusaders.
You going the Crusaders?
Yep.
By?
12 and under.
12 and under?
Yep.
Yourself?
So. Yep.
12 or plus for the Crusaders.
Great.
Yeah, 12 and over.
12 and over. Well, we've got 2-1. Okay. We're all going to watch it.
Yep. Absolutely.
Absolutely. He's not. He's sick. He is. He's a sicko. Look at him. Yeah. Oh, he said, I don't follow the footy much. Wow.
Crusaders.
By?
9.
By 9. So we go 12 and under.
Yeah.
Okay. Yourself?
No, I wouldn't know.
Why not?
I just don't.
You follow the footy?
No, I don't actually.
There's another sick one in the room here, guys. I found him. Yeah.
Well, no, I live overseas and we don't have footy over there.
So what? Whereabouts do you live?
In the Middle East.
Shift.
Yeah.
13 over. 13 and over. 13 and over.
Yourself?
I would say it'll be 25 points to 10, so 13 and over.
13 and over?
Yep.
First try scorer?
Sean Maitland.
What do you mean you don't follow them?
No, I don't speak English.
Right? Have you heard of the Canterbury Crusaders?
No.
You haven't?
No.
What are you doing at 20 to 10 tomorrow night?
In Sydney. Back in Sydney on a plane.
Back to Sydney?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we can't help bad luck.
It's not all bad, he's gone back to Sydney.
Well, what do you, at least we're getting rid of him. Yeah. What do you reckon now, mate?
I reckon the Crusaders.
By what?
18 points.
18 points,
Yes,
that's the best bid
points.
we've had so far.
Is it?
Yep.
Well, I'm confident.
Score, what will we win by?
26-20.
Oh, tight as.
Yeah, we'll win.
Gee. Who's your favourite Crusader?
Sonny Bill.
Oh, Sonny Bill. He's only been here 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Crusaders.
Yep.
Crusaders.
What would they win by?
12 plus.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, 12 plus.
12 plus, okay. Who's your favourite Crusader?
Oh no. It's embarrassing. Richie McCaw.
Yeah, that's okay. Nothing wrong with being embarrassed with Richie. Right, last word goes to the boss here at Tower Junction Spates Ale House. Billy, big night tomorrow night for you guys.
Yeah, it'll be huge, I'd say.
Crusaders, you reckon, will do it?
Yes, I do.
Easily or not?
Yeah, convincingly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
First try scorer?
Reid.
Kieran Reid. He's playing out of his skin, isn't he?
Yeah, very, very well.
He'll be an All Black. He'll go
Definite.
on.
On for years.
Good on you. All right, now the inside word from the camp, they're confident?
Yeah, they are very confident. Lucky enough to have a mate who's manager there, Thorby, and he thinks that they'll thrash them. So.
They'll thrash them?
Yep.
That's good enough for me. The boss reckons that'll do me. So that's made up my mind what I'm doing with the syndicate bet. The boss said that the manager of the Crusaders says they'll thrash them. They'll do me. I'm going to go 13 plus. How's that? And my first try scorer, going for a bit of a loose cannon here. Got to tell you, going for a little bit loose here. I reckon Robbie Fruin will score the first.
The Christchurch Fire Service has been commended for the hard work they put in during the quake. Kineta Tonight spoke to Dan Coward on City Life.
This was a commendation that was given to our brigade last night, presented by the Minister of Internal Affairs, Nathan Guy, and our Commission chairperson, Dame Margaret Beasley, and our National Commander. And we had some 70 odd brigades from around the South Island, far away as the West Coast, and we held a function at the Wigram Air Force Museum, and it was all about recommending and commending and recognising the work that everybody had done during the earthquake. So it was a really neat occasion, a lot of people, a few hundred, and we all got presented these commendations for the work and effort we've done.
That's amazing. How important was this to be recognised like this?
Fundamental. Whilst we do the job that we do, and whilst our volunteers do what they do in their communities, what everybody did during February was just amazing, sort of over and above what anybody trains for or ever thinks they're going to have to do. So the last time we had the September earthquake, we had a presentation of certificates and we got together as a group to say thanks. This time round it was a lot more formal. It was very much about recognising the team efforts. It was very much about saying to everybody, thank you very much for what you've done, and taking away something like this to be able to proudly display back in the station. So yeah, really fantastic night.
What was the atmosphere like among all the firefighters and the brigades?
Oh, it was great. Everybody really enjoyed getting together, having a catch up. For a lot of people it's the first time they've caught up since the earthquake, especially those from the West Coast that came over. So it was really good, and everybody just really enjoyed talking. Everybody enjoyed, we got a wonderful group photo of everybody sitting there holding the certificates. So a really neat night, really great atmosphere, and I think everybody really pleased to just have that moment to sort of take stock and reflect on everything and say thanks.
And I guess there would have been some firefighters still on duty?
Yeah, there were. There were still some there from some of our stations that were on duty, and it was good to see them there, even though they couldn't partake in some of the refreshments. But it was just a really neat atmosphere, really good.
So what's the focus been this week, or, you know?
Well, look, we've, believe it or not, we've had a drop in fire calls. It's really pleasing to say that. We've had statistically, we've had an 18% drop in the number of incidents that we've attended. So we're seeing a trend going down. We're seeing the trend of house fires going down, which is really positive. It means people are listening, people are taking that extra care at home, really taking stock of what's really important for them. So we're really pleased about that. We still see a high incident of deliberately lit fires, and in the last week those deliberately lit fires have been associated and linked to places of care, so hospitals and those sorts of things. So we're worried about that. We're worried that people are prepared to sort of carry out that action and that activity in those sorts of environments. So we're going to have an increased focus with both the police and DHB around what we need to be doing for the safety of people.
A proposed capital gains tax being promoted by Labour has drawn severe criticism from a local farming accountant.
Well, I guess for me, Rob, the bottom line is that I can't see it working in New Zealand in the way that it's been talked about in the media. Now, we're a bit handicapped because, of course, we've had no official announcement as to what the Labour Party are really proposing. So, but going on what has been reproduced in the media, I think that there are 4 advantages being claimed for it. The first one is that it'll mean that there'll be no need to sell state-owned assets to fund Auckland infrastructure and the Christchurch rebuild, but that argument falls over because of a timing issue. It's acknowledged that capital gains tax will take up to 10 years to reach full-time cash income, or the sort of forecast figures that they're talking about, and Auckland and Christchurch need their money over the next few months. So certainly Christchurch does. Auckland may be able to tolerate their situation for a bit longer, less urgent perhaps. The second claimed advantage is that it will enable the government to reduce other taxes. Well, I don't want to go into politics, but I haven't really ever seen a government effectively reduce taxes over the course of my long career, so I'm not optimistic about the second claimed advantage. Then the third advantage is said that it will change investment behaviour and shift the focus away from residential property, which is where a lot of New Zealanders invest. Well, I beg to differ with that, because there's really no investment alternatives that are exciting for, or even recommendable really for New Zealand. We've all been hurt by the fixed interest debacle of the financial meltdown. Our share market is so thin that it's probably struggling to continue, and that means that we have to look offshore.
And that's CTV News. I'm Rob Cope-Williams.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.